Namaste yogis, I'm Melissa and I'm going to take you through today's practice to work on grounding and access the energy of our Muladhara chakra, the first chakra at the base of our body of the main 7 that we so often see illuminated in our yogic texts. We're going to stay very low to the ground today, focus a lot on our connection not only with the earth but also anchoring ourselves into our own bodies. So as you're ready, I just want you to find a comfortable, easy seat. And I know that means a lot of different things to many different people. So if you have tight hips and you're working on opening up, maybe grab your Kindfolk blocks, slide them underneath your thighs. Really get them in there so that you're supported. It doesn't feel like you're forced into the seat. Or maybe even sit on a block, just elevating the hips above the plane of the knees. And if you have tight hamstrings, you might even enjoy seated with your legs out long, supported by blocks. Just coming into a pose that you can maintain for a few breaths. It doesn't feel like you're forcing anything. And then if it's okay with the body, just start by closing down the eyes, shift the focus inward. Start to really tune into what's going on the inside, rather than the external sounds around you, the movement around you, and instead just feel all of that inside. And then taking a big inhale, and as you exhale, sigh gently out the mouth. Just beginning to call ourselves to practice. You might bring your hands into Yana Mudra and bring the index finger and the thumb pads together gently. Turn the palms up, other 3 fingers extend. And I want us to use the affirmation of, I have everything I need. And it's not an easy concept to understand, but one of my favorite teachers told me that I am my own best guru. I am my own best medicine man. I am my own best spiritual leader. Everything that I believe that I know to be true lives within my heart. And all the things that I think I need outside of me are just illusion. So as we're here completing that circuit of index finger and thumb, completing the circuit of I have everything I need within, just start to tune in to those things that you need. Peace, serenity, love, joy, safety, whatever it is, know that it exists within you. 2 more breaths, just living in the realm of I have everything I need. Just letting that seed start to plant within our minds and watering it and letting it grow a little bit each day. If you have the mudra, just release your hands down by your side. If ankles or shins are crossed, just go ahead and cross them in the other direction so that we're balanced through the sits bones. You can leave legs extended or extend them if you want to change shape. We'll just come into an easy side bend. So we'll start first by sitting on our sits bones. So sit really tall. Feel those 2 points connect into the earth on purpose. And let that be your foundation. So your shoulders will stack over your hips, your ears will stack over your shoulders. We'll take our hands out beside us as though we're making the shape of a mountain, firmly rooted into our practice. And we'll inhale, just take the right arm up towards the ear, and then bend the left elbow, reach over to the left. You might even play with the neck a little bit, just turning in one direction and then the other, keeping it simple and soft, not forcing anything to arise. Power off the left hand, start to straighten it as you bring the right arm down by your side. Connect right fingertips firm back into that foundation once more, equal weight in both sitting bones. And inhale, bring the left arm up and over. Bend the right elbow, reach to the right. Play with releasing tension by turning the head in one direction and then the other. Sometimes a little movement, subtle movement, is all we need to start to unwind. And then power off the right hand, press to straighten the arm, bring the left arm down by your side. Firming into that foundation once more. And thinking about that first chakra. So we have to nourish and bathe that first energy center so that it can begin to rise Kundalini energy all the way up the body. We'll inhale, draw both arms up overhead. Try to be soft through the fingers. We're not pulling and reaching and striving for anything with outside of us. We're inside, internalizing that strength, drawing everything into center. And as we exhale, just bring the right hand in front, left hand behind, connect the fingertips. Press down to grow tall through the crown of the head. Maybe look over the left shoulder briefly. Inhale, draw the arms up overhead once more, reach. And exhale, twist, left hand in front, right arm behind. Still feeling that connection of sitting bones, maybe legs are getting a little bit heavier, releasing through the hips. Inhale, draw the arms up overhead. Let's twist once more. This time take the right hand to the left thigh for a little bit of leverage. Left hand behind you. Use that to root down through the back side, to lift through the top side, and gentle pressure on that left knee to help bring the right rib cage around. Inhale, the arms float up once more, and this time we'll thread the left hand to the outside of the right thigh. Right fingertips plant, lift, and turn. And then inhale to center, arms come up all the way. Press the palms together, slide them down into the heart. Just repeating, reaffirming, I have everything I need. Let the hands come down by your side. Just briefly, maybe remove the blocks. See if that helps relieve a little tension, if the knees can fall further towards the earth. Maybe even changing, seeing how that feels through the hips. And then setting our blocks down, out to the side just for now. Let's extend the left leg out to the left. Draw the right heel into the groin. You might like a block here if that knee is really bent, maybe to support. Another great place to support is that other knee so that both knees aren't overextended. They can just rest. And we'll take our fingers on either side of the left leg, root down through the sitting bones once more. It's all about foundational growth. So as we sit down, we twist the heart space over the left knee and then begin to wander ourselves over. And now here it's really common to try and drift a little to the left. That right shoulder will roll up. Take it back down. Check in with the leg, make sure it feels okay to be nice and long, and if it doesn't, bend the leg, pull it in a little bit. Try to get soft through the shoulder blades so that they're not lifted towards the ears, they're down gently. And then you can think of yourself as surrendering into gravity, so letting gravity bring you closer to the earth. It's easy to want to force and pull, but that's not what we need. We need our body to ease in. And we'll gently walk the fingertips back and switch sides, bringing the right leg out, the left heel in, propping it any way we need. And then rooting down through the sits bones, twisting the chest over that right leg, walking it out. Same idea, finding the spaces where the shoulders are relaxed, the belly is drawn in, the chest is reaching for the thigh. Maybe you're completely flat, maybe you're seated up straight. The beautiful thing about yoga is there's a space for all of us to find the stretch we need, rather than forcing us to do something we're not ready for. And take one more big breath here. Maybe pull the heart a little bit forward by dragging the shoulder blades down the back. And then walking the fingertips back up to bring ourselves to center. We'll shift into our table. We'll bring our feet back behind us, shifting the blocks out of the way. Bringing our hands under our shoulders, our knees under our hips. Take a few rounds of our cat-cow just to wake up the spine. So we'll inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze, roll the shoulders back like we're going to touch the back of the head to the tailbone. And then we'll exhale, press into the earth to lift the heart away from you. Scoop the tailbone towards the chin this time. We'll do that on breath. So moving with your own breath, rippling through the spine, letting the belly come down. And then arching on the exhale to lift the heart into the back body. One more time, wherever you are, full round, take your time. Some of us will move really fast and some of us will move really slow. And then I want you to come to neutral, so nice long spine. Take a moment to reflect. What did I need most? Did it feel best to be in my cat? Did it feel best to be in my cow? Then I want you to go there, linger there for a few rounds of breath. Maybe even wiggle a bit. Whether the heart is lifted or the belly is down, just wiggle. And then switch to that one that maybe didn't feel quite as nice. And same idea, little organic movement, maybe rock forward and back, maybe rock side to side, maybe even draw circles with the body. And then pause. Keep the feet right where they are, but walk the knees wider. Take a journey with the hands, walk them back towards the knees when they come about half the distance, tucking your toes and starting to lift onto the balls of your feet. And then just seeing where we are today. Maybe the heels come down into our yogi squat, into our malasana, or maybe we roll up our mat and give ourselves a little more space to support the heels. Wherever you are, just start to think about drawing energy downward. So in this one, we tend to want to roll forward. Can we stand tall? Can we sink our weight evenly into all four corners of the feet? Maybe even draw the hands into heart center. We can always have our block in front of us for a little more support, stability, especially as we learn to stretch the arches of our feet. But try to anchor the tailbone down. So instead of scooping it back, we're rooting it down, we're lifting through the heart. And we're making almost a little mountain type shape here. Still stacking shoulders above the hips, ears above the shoulders. And then gently use your hands or your block, press down, start to lift the tailbone up high as we make our way into our Uttanasana forward fold. And this is our first time we're upside down today, so it might feel really nice to shake out the neck. Might feel really nice to bend one knee and then the other, just redistributing our weight and seeing how that feels. And we'll halfway lift, slide the fingertips to the shins, roll the spine along, shoulder blades move down the back. And then we'll exhale, fold. We'll bend the knees generously, slowly start to roll up one vertebra at a time. We'll make our way into a gentle sequence, even though we're standing, still working on rooting the body. So shifting anything out of your way. Standing at the back of the mat, we're gonna step forward on the right leg, just about 2.5, maybe 3 feet. Heel toe the foot out so that we're more on train tracks than we are on a tightrope. Turn your toes gently on the back leg towards the front left corner of your mat. And then start to bend into that right knee. So the right knee stacks over the right ankle. The left hip endeavors to move around to the front of the mat. Check in with that back leg. If it's a little cranky, go ahead and lift onto the ball of the foot to bring that hip around a little more. Or stay grounded through the back heel. Reach the tailbone down towards the mat. Bring both hands onto your hips and just use that to guide the hip points forward. And then if we're here and we're feeling stable through our body, turn the glutes on to lock the pose into place. Sweep the arms up and overhead, reach. Shoulders into the body. As much as we're lifting up through the hands, we're rooting down into the grounding of our feet. All 10 toes connect on purpose. Coming into a bit of a balance, we'll step forward, come onto the ball of the left foot, and then step into that right leg. Bring the left knee in towards your chest. Flex the left foot, get strong. And then we'll come into our tree from here. So I'm going to turn to face you. Standing in our one-legged mountain, we'll start by wrapping the hands around the shin, giving it a brief tug into the chest. Reach down with the left hand, so feed it through the left leg and right arm. Take a hold of the ankle. Rotate the knee out, and then connect the foot to the thigh. If it's not quite connected to the thigh, that's brilliant. It can connect to the calf and come all the way down to the earth and connect here. We're working on rolling that left thigh back, right hip back, trying to keep the hips in one strong line wherever you are in your tree pose. And then drawing the arms out by our sides. We're a low tree today. Our branches are reaching downward. You can almost think of yourself as a Chinese banyan tree. Even as the branches grow up, if you've seen them, they grow roots and anchors from their arms down towards the earth. Think about lines of energy from the fingers pressing down. Be here for one more breath. Extend your knee forward. And then without using your hands, can you step your left foot out wide? Bring your arms just above shoulder level. Turn your palms into that really pretty 5-pointed star. Notice if you flare the backside, pull it in. Pivot the toes in towards the body. Take the hands onto the hips and then gently pour yourself into a wide-legged forward fold. Hands to the ankles, or maybe they stay onto the hips. Maybe they move down to the calves. Just take a hold of something. Inhale, halfway lift, extend the spine. And then exhale, bend the elbows and fold. Maybe shake out the head once more. And then big inhale, bring the hands back to the hips. Gently engage the glutes, root down through the feet to help yourself rise back up. Bend the left knee, step the right foot to meet it. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, thumbs down into your heart center, reconnecting. I have everything I need. So if the balance is a little bit tricky today, we focus on working the balance on the other side. Just seeing how each side plays together. I have everything I need. Blink the eyes open, release the hands, turn to face the front of the mat once more. We'll step forward on the left foot this time, 2.5, maybe 3 feet. Soft bend in that left knee, revolve the ball of the back foot towards the front right corner of the mat. Heel toe that left foot out so we have a nice firm base. And then bend the left knee over the left ankle. Look down, can you see your toes? If you can't, slide that foot forward gently. Bring the tailbone down, the right hip forward. Inhale, slide the arms up overhead. And then feel for that same sensation of balance through the hips that we looked for before. And if you're new to practice, hands to the hips. Pull the right hip up, left hip back, tailbone down. And then turn the feet on. Can you grip the mat gently so that we're not clawing it like we're a bear, but we're pressing down and turning the feet on. Hands overhead once more if they aren't there. Breathe into this sensation. Can you snuggle the rib cage in here? Can we not spill everything forward, but be firm and drawn in, supporting everything we have? Moving towards that one-legged mountain, Ekapada Tadasana, revolve onto the ball of the back foot. Step the right knee in towards the chest. I'll turn to face you. Wrap the arms around the shin, pull that knee into the body. Reach down, thread the right hand to the right ankle, and bring that knee out to the side. Allow the sole of the foot to connect to the thigh or the calf or the foot, or even to your block. So I should have mentioned this on the other side, but you can actually bring your block right beside you and use that there as a bit of balance. Something to play with. Wherever your foot is, keep it there. This time changing the angle of our hands So as we reach down, rooting like the Chinese banyan before, now we'll lift up, reach up as though we're a traveler palm, extending our branches for the sky, opening wide, lifting our heart. As much as you step down with the left foot, press your right foot into your thigh. Be here for one more breath. Release your hands to your hips, bring your right knee forward, and then step wide on your right foot. If you're like me and you've run out of space, that's okay. Just bring yourself back to the mat or stay off the mat. You're not framing. It doesn't matter if you're on your mat or not. And then gently fold. Once more, take a hold of the ankles. Take a hold of the calves, take a hold of the thighs. Whatever you have, just use that to complete the circuit. Using that to help our balance. And then gently take your hands to the mat. Heel toe the feet in together so that we're roughly back in that forward fold from before. We'll gently start to bend the knees to sink our hips towards our heels. We'll make our way onto our bottom. And we'll just reset with just a gentle twist before we move towards our Shavasana. So hug the knees into the chest. Let's first roll into a tiny little ball. Almost think of yourself as a seed here. And much like a seed, we contain everything we need within us. The seed merely needs to be planted, watered, and it will grow. We need to plant the idea of I have everything within our mind's eye so that we can nourish that and let that grow within us. Slowly slide your chest away from your thighs. Start to bring yourself down onto the mat. When you get there, bring the knees back into the chest, just like when we were seated, make that same shape. And we'll bring the knees over to the left. Left hand will snake to the outside of that right thigh. We'll bring the right hand behind us, reaching for the back edge of our mat. And then just gently use an exhale to turn your gaze over to the right. Few breaths here. I love this pose because it gives you the opportunity to settle the body. It's like our own little pause button. Anytime we take these lying twists, we're telling our body we're safe. That's one of the affirmations of Muladhara, of the root chakra, is I am safe. It's that foundational belief that we have what we need. All of our primitive needs are met. That primal need for food, for shelter, we have it all. We feel secure. Inhale as you bring the gaze back to center. Snuggle the knees back into the body. Little squeeze, little hug. And then use the right hand to feed the knees over to the right. Left arm extends back behind you. And exhale, we'll shift the chin over the left shoulder. Maybe the eyes are closed as you sort through your mind and what it is that you need to feel safe, to feel secure, to feel as though you really have everything you need. You will always be your own best teacher. Your body knows you better than I ever will. So listen to it, tune in, and feed it the affirmation that it has everything it needs. Gentle inhale back to center. One big squeeze, one last time. And exhale. Pull everything away from the body. Reach through the fingers, reach through the toes like you're stretching, just waking up from a nice long nap. And then with your next exhale, just slide the hands down by your side. Let your toes roll out. Soften the space in between the eyelids. Start to breathe into that space at the very end of your belly. The base of your tailbone, just hovering above it. Trying to breathe into that space. The color association with this chakra is red, so maybe as we close down the eyes, we start to see the color red just behind our eyelids. And rather than trying to shape it in our mind's eye, we simply watch and observe whatever shade comes to mind, whatever shape comes to mind. Maybe associating a feeling that we have when we think of the color red. Just breathing here into that red space for a few more breaths. Moving as slowly as you can. Just point the toes skyward, bend the knees, drag the heels into the body. Take an inhale, reach the arms back behind you, stretch through the fingers, roll through the wrists. Shift your hips to the right as you roll to your left side. Come into that little ball shape once more. Hug the knees into the chest, taking that shape of the seed. And as you're here, just remember to plant yourself in fertile soil. Remember to plant thoughts inside the fertile soil of your mind that have space to bloom and grow. You have everything you need. Breathe here for as long as your body is asking for. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me. Namaste. Thank you, yogis.